Back to that story of controversial Kenya Films and Classification Board Chief Executive Officer Ezekiel Mutua, who has been sent on terminal leave following a directive from ICT Cabinet Secretary Joe Mucheru. The CEO, who has been at the helm of the content regulatory organ for 6 years now, had earlier stated that he was still in office before his replacement was quickly announced on Friday. KTN's Timothy Otieno reports.
From Kisumu. When former journalist Ezekiel Mutua left his plum position at the Ministry of Information to join the Kenya Film and Classifications Board, he would be a man determined to make a mark. But 6 years later, Ezekiel has done more than that. His time as the CEO for the Films Board has been riddled with controversy over what many term as his harsh stance, especially against local content.
Kuna baadhi ya waimbaji katika nchi yetu hata stage names zao nipata wengine Ukambani, mmoja anajiita sijui Katombi, mwingine sijui Maima, wengine sijui Vusi ya Unguu.
When it came out on Thursday that the CEO had been sent on terminal leave, Ezekiel was quick to dispel what he termed as malicious rumors. My attention has been drawn to reports on social media to the effect that I have been fired as CEO of the Kenya Film and Classifications Board. Please ignore. I am not aware of such developments, and there can be no grain of truth in them, as there's no vacancy in the office of the CEO KFCB, tweeted Ezekiel on Thursday evening. But on Friday, this notice placing Christopher Wambua, the Director of Public Communications at the Communications Authority of Kenya, as the acting CEO of the Kenya Films and Classifications Board, was released by the acting Chief Manager, Corporate Services in the Ministry of ICT. Mutua, whose second term as CEO comes to an end on the 25th of October this year, was sent on terminal leave despite KTN News learning that there were behind-the-scenes efforts to extend his tenure. In a letter Ezekiel wrote to the board of the KFCB dated 22nd April 2021, the self-proclaimed moral policeman argued that his first term was not official, as he had been seconded from the ministry as opposed to being selected through a competitive process. Therefore, Mutua wrote, the CEO joining the board on secondment for the first term of tenure was as an employee of the Ministry of ICT. Thus, the term ending in 2021 is my first term following the transfer to the board. Mutua also argued that his term needed to be extended to allow him implement a post-COVID-19 business continuity plan that he helped develop. A change of guard during a period of turbulence necessitated by the COVID-19 pandemic is not ideal. This owing to the CEO's exemplary performance through the period of the pandemic, wrote Ezekiel Mutua. It's an argument that the board apparently bought into, as Mutua was issued a controversial third term in office despite a code of governance for state corporations limiting service by CEOs in state organs to a maximum of 2 3-year terms. But the besieged CEO confided in KTN News that he intends to challenge the premature ouster in court. Already, Mutua is under probe by the EACC for allegedly receiving irregular payments in salaries and allowances whilst serving as CEO.
To help me get a wife. On a serious note, for once. No comedy, no joke, no jokes.
People like Eric Omondi, unashangaa huyu ni mwendawazimu gani? Kuna heshima gani?
As a looming legal battle is prepared, the controversial CEO's term as Kenya's moral policeman could come to a messy end for a man both loved and loathed in equal measure. Timothy Otieno, KTN News.